Hi everyone, now do you have a pellet grill and do you dream of smoking the most perfect brisket, thinking about that incredible bark, that incredibly juicy meat? Well, in this video I'm going to show you the 5 steps you need to know to get that perfect brisket.
Yeah, boy.
So this is a 1953 brisket from John Davison's, and it's affordable, and I found every time I've cooked with this brisket it's got a fantastic fat cap. Plus that it's got marbling that's running all through it. So that's going to do two things. First, it's going to help you get an amazing bark, and secondly it's going to help keep that brisket juicy. Now I've trimmed this up already, and today I'm using Steve Gale's brisket rub. Now speaking of Steve, if you want to go and see how to do that, please go and check out his channel, Smoke Trails Barbecue. Not only is he really entertaining, but he does some really crazy experiments on briskets, tests loads of myths. But I am getting a little bit worried about him, to be quite honest with you, because he used to be a nice clean cut guy that looked like this, but now he's gone full caveman. But maybe that's why he's such a legend. Now the beauty of seasoning the night before is that it will save you a ton of time in the morning and helps you get that incredible bark that you're looking for. It allows the salt and the other ingredients to penetrate deep within the meat, effectively dry brining it, and that will ensure you get maximum flavour in every single bite. When seasoning, start with the mushroom soy and start with the bottom, then sides and the top. And the mushroom soy does three things. It adds a great umami flavour, gives you that black bark that you're looking for, and also helps the seasoning adhere to the brisket. With the seasoning, keep the shaker high and give that brisket a nice application, but not too heavy, as you want to ensure that the smoke can actually hit the meat. So once you're happy you've got good coverage, it's time to put it on the tray, put it in the fridge and leave it uncovered overnight. So as I showed you earlier in the video, this is the brisket in the morning, and that rub is set up really nicely. Now when the brisket looks this good and you haven't even smoked it, you're halfway there. I always start with a cold smoker, as that 5 minutes of thicker smoke you get during the startup sequence helps get that little bit of extra smoke on the brisket, and due to the wood pellets it will burn really cleanly the rest of the cook. Now place the brisket on the top rack so you protect the bottom from burning, as that bottom deflector plate would generate a lot of radiant heat. In addition to that, all the trimmings that you saved from the trim, put those in the pan and set that underneath. This will do three things. Firstly, it will act as another heat shield to protect the bottom of the brisket. Secondly, all that fat will render out of the trimmings, and some of which we will add back when we wrap the brisket, and the rest you can save for future cooks, and it will really help add a beautiful smoky flavour to those cooks. And finally, all that fat that renders out the brisket will go straight in the pan. We'll collect that along with everything else so that nothing is wasted. So I'm going to start the Traeger off at 250, and to increase the amount of smoke in the cook chamber, I like to put some wood chips in a smoke box and then use an eco firelight to get those burning. It's all these little extra steps that you do that will guarantee a fantastic brisket time and time again. Now I'm also going to put a couple of probes in the point and the flat to keep track of the progress, and today I'm using the Thermapen signals, which in my book is an absolute must-have. Now let's close this down and I'll show you what it looks like in a couple of hours. Now before I forget, the competition is still open, so if you want to find out how you can win this incredible Dow Strong grilling set, I will leave the details in the description, and whilst you're there please hit the subscribe and the like button, I really appreciate it. Now would you look at that bark, you can see the colour is changing as the smoke has hit it and that Myrac reaction takes place. The rub is set beautifully and you can see the fat has started to render down. It doesn't need any spritzing. Putting it on that top rack and that tray underneath, you're doing a really good job. Just over the 4-hour mark, and the temperature for both the flat and the points evened out and cooking absolutely perfectly. That's one of the beautiful things of actually putting that tray underneath, just helps balance out, protect that flat a little bit. So we're going to have a look and just judge and make sure that it's basically in the right place to wrap. Oh yes, I mean look, how sexy does that look? So you can see both the point and the flat are about 176. But I want to make sure it's ready to wrap. And there's two things that I look for. Firstly, I look to see that the bark is nice and dark. Let's quickly double check that those temperatures are about right. and secondly that the fat has started to render. So you can see it's starting to go a lovely colour, golden yellow colour. It's nice and soft to the touch, and you can see this brisket is definitely ready to wrap. So before you even think about getting the brisket out, make sure you got everything ready. You're going to need 2 sheets of unwaxed butcher's paper, which I'm going to spray down with warm water. Then you need some ghee, which is clarified butter, and adds a really nice savoury umami flavour, and also add some of that lost fat back in. And then finally some of that incredible tallow that we've been smoking to give that extra smoky boost, and add some more fat back in. So let's grab the brisket and place some brisket meat side down, and then you're going to wrap it like you would a present. Creasing the sides makes it nice and easy to manage, and as you are wrapping it, just bring it towards yourself, just makes life so much easier. With the last bit, tuck it in underneath to keep it in place, and then tighten up the edges so we don't allow the brisket to steam and potentially ruin the bark. So let's put this back in, and I'm going to bump the temperature up to 275, and then I'll bring it back when it reaches around 200 mark to show you what I look for to make sure that the brisket is fully cooked. Now I just want to show you, so these are the 2 jars of all the tallow that we rendered down during the cook. So we've got a whole jar and a like little jar here, but it's so worth doing, and you've got some amazing flavour in this, and you'll be able to use that in future cooks. So it's been another couple of hours, and the signals is telling me that the internal temperature has reached around the 200 mark. So I'm just going to take one of the probes out and use the same hole with a instant read digital thermometer and just double check what the actual internal temperature is. So this one's reading at 201 and the other is reading about the 203 mark. So this is temperature wise perfect. The other thing I'm doing is sliding this probe in and out, and basically I'm testing to see whether or not there's any resistance at all. So it should be like putting a knife through butter, nice and soft and literally no resistance. So the other test I like to do is put my fingers underneath, and I like to feel whether or not there's any give, any ply in the bottom of the brisket. This tells me that the brisket is done and it is ready to come off. So I've left the brisket to cool down on the worktop, and it's down to about 150 degrees. The rest is really important, as it allows all the juices to redistribute throughout the brisket, and also if you were to slice a brisket at 200 degrees, all that moisture is going to escape in the form of steam, and therefore all that hard work you've done is basically lost. So it's time to open this brisket, which is smelling absolutely incredible. It's been driving me nuts, but I've been strong. You'd be very proud of me, and I've let it go down to 150. But I really want to see how we did and how this rubber stood up. I mean, wow, would you look at that bark? It's nice and dark. There's a little bit of a light spot there, but I'm not too worried about that. Now today I'm cooking this for my church for the bring and share, and so I can't really scoff it like I normally would, but let's slice it open so I can show you just how juicy this is going to be. Now look at that, that is the money shot. A beautiful smoke ring, and just look at the juices running out. Now I'm not squeezing this at all, and you can just see what buying a decent brisket will help you achieve. I mean, look at that, that is perfection. Okay, so I have to have a little try, just a little nibble off the end, and I just want to see what it tastes like.
Wow!
Now that is incredible. It is juicy, smoky. That rub tastes fantastic. Now again, I've left a link in the description down below. Go and check it out. Go and check Steve's website out. But most importantly, please subscribe to this channel. Give this video a good old thumbs up. Any comments, leave those down below. Now if you like this video, go and check out a video I'll link in the description where I show you how to make the most amazing pork rib. Cheers.